Hi everyone, and thank you so much for joining me on kipsandkale.com today. My name's Christina Canters, and I'm super excited because I'm joined by a very special guest, the very inspiring and very passionate Farnoosh Brock of prolificliving.com. Today, we're talking green smoothies. Now, like me, Farnoosh is a green smoothie addict, but she's taken her love of green smoothies to the next level and has written a book called the Healthy Smoothie Bible. Now, this isn't just a recipe book. What I love about it is that Farnoosh provides a step-by-step process on how to get started on your green smoothie journey and how to really build that habit, even if you're just starting out. So if the thought of drinking spinach for breakfast just makes you squirm, or if the idea of blending just seems way too complicated or difficult, keep watching because Farnoosh is about to change your life. You can pick up a copy of the Healthy Smoothie Bible online at prolificjuicing.com, or you can check out any major bookstore. Farnoosh, thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
Christina, thank you so much for having me and for your warm welcome and for your excitement around smoothies. So,
Thank you. Yeah, well, I love my green smoothies, but you've gone and written a whole book about it.
yeah.
And now you're not a professional chef. You're a life and business coach. So what motivated you to write a whole book about the topic of healthy smoothies?
Right. No, I'm not a chef. In fact, I hardly do any cooking. So I was just really inspired by how I was able to revolutionize my own health. From first, I started with green juicing and then moved on to green smoothies. And I actually do both, and I've written about both because I was just so amazed by how when I went back to the basics, to the simpler diet, to going back to nature and doing this and adding the green smoothies and green juices to my diet, just how it changed how I feel, how I look, my skin, my hair, my everything, my body, and also the level of health that I have brought to my life as well as to my husband's life. So I think it's amazing how simple it is because I don't like complex diets. I've never been able to follow a complex diet and stay with it as a lifestyle. And that's really the problem. We need something that can be a lifestyle, a habit. And so green smoothies are really the answer to that. And now I'm actually on the road as we are speaking, and I'm able to even look up smoothie bars, which are popping up everywhere. That's really good. And be able to still keep that as part of my regular diet. So I wanted to inspire other people because I think eating well is related to the rest of your life. It's really one of the pillars that's important in not just your health, but also in your productivity, in your work, in your relationships. Because when you're happy with yourself, as a result of taking care of yourself, then everything else, I feel, starts to fall into place. So green smoothies are really, I think, a revolution that you can add to your diet, to your eating, and start to experience the same for yourself.
Look, I totally agree with that. And I think taking care of yourself as the number
Yeah.
one priority is just the most important thing if you do want to be productive and successful in other areas of your life. I know that if I'm not eating well and if I don't sleep very well, I feel terrible and I'm not productive and I just don't get work done. And I got to say thank you because before I read your book, I had actually stopped having my smoothies because I just moved to New York City and I was just out of routine. So I stopped drinking smoothies, but I was totally inspired by your book to start up again. And now I've made a commitment to myself that I'm having one green smoothie every day. And I've actually so this is my second smoothie for the day. And this is a recipe from your book. It's number 35. I think it's called the sweet green machine or something. That's got avocado and pineapple. So that's
Awesome.
really, really cool.
I am proud of you for starting it back up. So that's great. And there is no shortage. I was just recently in New York City. There is no shortage of smoothie bars in case you feel like you don't have everything in your fridge. You can just run down the street and it's the best investment I think you can make in your
I
health. So
know.
good for you.
Thank you. Well, I want to ask you, Fanush, for
Yeah.
someone who's watching this who has maybe never had a green smoothie before, never blended vegetables into a drink, what's the difference between drinking your greens in a smoothie or and just eating a bowl of salad? What's the difference?
Right. I think that the major difference is that it's just easier to consume the amount of nutrition that you need. I mean, we hardly consume all the leafy vegetables and fruits and the good things that we need on a daily basis. So if you had to consume it, you still have to make a large effort chewing and swallowing all of that. So when you make green smoothies, the machine blends it for you, it purifies it, and it's in such an easily digestible form. And you can consume more of it and still not feel like, oh my gosh, you just ate all of that, and you feel a little weighed down. And then your body has to work hard to digest all of the, let's say if you had a raw carrot or 3 carrots, versus if you just blended it up with some celery and avocado and just, drank it up. So you can vary the level of thickness in your smoothie. And I think that's the fun part, where with juices, it's just the juice. But with smoothies, you can make it really thick and very, very, very fun, like very filling. Or you can make it really purified with adding some water or some nut milks. So you can make that variable, but still you can get all of your nutrition in an easily digestible form, and it's so much easier to get all of your nutrition this way versus going out and eating either the raw salads in ton of volume, or cooking it up, where in the process of cooking you actually lose some of the freshness and some of the enzymes. So it's just so much easier. I mean, that's really the simplicity of it, which I love.
Yeah, I like to think of it as a vegetable injection. I know that after I have a green smoothie, I just feel like I've just had this greenery and goodness just go straight into my system
Yeah,
without the need for, your body to work too hard to digest it. So,
yeah,
yeah, that's really cool.
yeah.
Now, you cover a lot in your book, and what I love is that you explain all about blending, and from the sort of blender you can get to which order to put your ingredients in, to what's best to be frozen or not frozen, and what different ingredients go together as
Mhm.
well. Now, out of this whole wealth of knowledge that you have about blending, if you could distill everything you know about blending into just two nuggets of advice that you could
Mhm.
share with someone,
Mhm.
what would they be? So if there was only two things that
Two things.
someone needed to know about blending, what would they
Mhm.
be?
And I think that they are what we may have already covered, but you're right. To simplify all of that, I think it would be that it's easy. You can learn to do this quickly and easily incorporate it into a very busy lifestyle. That's the number one thing I would like you to know, because we have so much going on in our lives. I mean, we are so busy. We have families to take care of. We have work to do and all these other things we want to do for ourselves. So nutrition is sometimes an afterthought, but it brings your nutrition and your care into the center of your life without adding a lot of effort. So I think knowing that it's easy, you can learn to blend with just a little bit of information. You can pick up the Healthy Smoothie Bible or just learn how to do it through experience. So it's easy and accessible to everyone. And the second thing I would say is it's fun, because you get to experiment with so many, many different foods, vegetables, fruits, superfoods, nut butters, nut milks, dried fruits. I use some of that. Protein powders if you're into that. And all of my recipes are vegan, even though I'm not completely vegan. But I really, really feel like what you put into your smoothie is going to make a difference. So you can make it for different purposes. So in my book, I categorize them depending on whether you're doing a hydration, whether you're doing refuel after a workout, whether you want to replace a meal. So the fun factor that you can basically give your smoothie a purpose, I think that's the other thing I would want you to know, because that's that, your life is different from someone else's and your needs are different, and they are very versatile. Smoothies can really adapt into your lifestyle, and you can make your own. And I have over 100 recipes in my book, but I still to walk you step by step through making your own and improvising every recipe. And that's very powerful because it gives you so much control over what you put into your body, something that's not just nutritious but also delicious to your tastes.
Yeah. That's something
So,
that I took away from your book as well. I used to make the same smoothie over and over and over again.
yeah,
And I must admit, it got a little bit boring after a while. Like, it was literally the same smoothie every day.
yeah.
So, after reading your book, I've been experimenting actually. I've been experimenting with putting in pineapple because I used to do just banana. Like, just banana was the only fruit I put in. So now I'm putting in pineapple. This one that I just made, it's got avocado in it.
Yeah.
And I'm using dates now sometimes in my smoothies just to add that bit of sweetness.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's a really it is fun because it's like, oh, we'll just try this out. And I've had
Yeah.
plenty of smoothie fails, but but actually this is another cool thing in your book. You actually have a little like troubleshooting section where it's like
Yes.
if you have a smoothie fail, how can you fix it? So maybe you
Yes.
need to add more liquid or maybe add a bit more fruit or whatever. I love that.
Exactly, exactly, because I've had a lot of fails, and because I mean, the last summer we were basically putting everything together, and there was a lot of experimentation going on in our kitchen, and sometimes they just don't really work out, which is
Mm,
why I really recommend, if you have never done this, start with a recipe book, because the person behind that has gone through a lot of work and they have given you a formula to go by. So at the beginning, definitely go with recipes. But yes, if you make something and for whatever reason it doesn't come out right, before you either make yourself drink it or throw it away, try to fix it. And there are some quick fixes that can really recover an otherwise not so great smoothie. So not adding enough liquid is actually one. Another one is sometimes just it comes out strong, especially if you're experimenting with green smoothies, but a little bit of fruit can really fix that up fast. So and that's really good to know, because you get even better at improvising and making your own smoothies and learning what tastes go together, and you get a good handle on how much of every ingredient to use, because later on you get so good at it, you just measure by eye, or just a handful. You don't need to weigh your ingredients or anything like that. So I'm glad you mentioned that. You can definitely recover a smoothie and have a lot of fun in the process.
yeah, definitely. And also just with the greens as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, just experimenting with those is awesome. And like, yeah, I always find that adding some nut butter, that always helps.
Yes.
Just lift the smoothie a little bit. So yeah, just with I've actually got a question for you. That's something that I've been wondering. Now
Uh-huh.
you talk about different types of blenders, and right now I'm just using I don't even know what type it is. It's pretty old. It
Yeah.
does the job, but I've heard a lot about these Vitamix blenders, and they're
Yes.
really expensive.
Yeah.
And I've been told, okay, they're worth the investment. But I
Hmm.
want to ask you, Fanush,
Yeah.
is a $999 Vitamix blender really worth it?
Okay, I did not know. I did not know, Christina, they go up to $1,000. They
In
make.
Australia, they go up to $1,000.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I can imagine it. We spent $550 on mine, and it's worth every penny. Let me tell you, I actually traded out some of my other appliances to my friends so that I could, like, I traded my mixer to my friend in exchange for haircuts so I could save some money, because my Vitamix is a non-negotiable in our kitchen. We
Yep,
when
yep.
when we are home, we use it several times. I have broken blenders before, $30 blenders, $100 blenders, and so I was tired of it, and I knew this is something I want to add into my lifestyle. I am not even an affiliate of Vitamix, and I am a very huge fan. This is the Vitamix. This is the machine that they use in commercial stores where you go out and get a smoothie from the chains or wherever you go. It is absolutely worth it. I wouldn't say
Okay.
$1,000. That's a little bit much in the US, you can get them anywhere from $500 to $600, and you can do some research. Sometimes you can get refurbished ones on eBay. I would get one that still has the warranty from the company, and then you can make soups in it. You can make nut butters, nut milks. I mean, it has multiple purposes. I would say start with a regular blender and build the habit of making smoothies in your life, because there's some really good ones that work great. The Magic Bullet, I did some experiments with that and some research in that. That's great and very affordable. But if you want to make more and more regularly, you need a machine that's going to last. So I'm not going to tell you to go out and spend $500 on a blender. That's not what it takes to start making smoothies. But I am in love with my Vitamix, and if it breaks tomorrow, I mean, it's still under warranty, but if it weren't, I'll go out and have to buy another one and then trade something else to pay for it.
Maybe I'll have to sell my bike.
Yeah, see, there you go. Now you're thinking.
Oh dear, it's like priorities.
That's
Okay. All right. Now, I wanna finish off with a little game, okay?
okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's called Guess the Green. And I'm pretty sure you'll be amazing at this, but I want everyone watching to play at home as well. Okay,
Oh,
so I'm going to show you, I've got some greens here that I went and I purchased and I've been using them this week. And Farnoosh, I'd like you to identify the green and tell me and maybe a fact about it or what you like about it and
all
how to
right.
use it. Okay,
Let's
so
do it.
we're gonna start with an easy one. This is one of my favorites.
Oh,
Okay,
kale.
what is this?
Kale. That's kale.
Kale? Okay.
Of course, yes. And it's the long kale. I don't remember the exact name, but that's actually my favorite. There's other bigger leaves that are curlier. And
Yeah.
kale is wonderful. When you're first starting out, I would maybe not put the stem. I would actually just put the leaf, because the stem has some bitterness.
How do
Yeah.
we take the leaf off?
There is a way. You just put your fingers on the stem from the bottom, and you can actually, put your fingers on the stem in the middle, and then pull out the leaf. It just comes out from the
Like
center.
that?
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Ah,
Perfect. Now, the
there
stem
we
has a lot
go.
of
Easy,
nutrition.
guys.
Yeah, the stem has a lot of nutrition, and I eat the whole thing. But if you're just getting yourself introduced to the kale, I would say leave the stem off. But kale is brilliant for you. I love eating it. You can make all kinds of smoothies with it. Yes, good
Okay.
one.
So if you have a Vitamix, like a really high-powered blender, you can blend those tough stems that way.
Totally,
Okay.
totally. Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
I'll keep that in
absolutely.
mind. All right, next one is
That is collard green.
very
Collard.
good.
Thank you, darling.
Everyone see that? Collard
Yes.
greens.
And
Okay.
believe it or not, collard greens, I was shocked when I read this, have more nutrition than kale. And they are not as
No.
popular. Yes, they are not as popular, and they are delicious in smoothies.
Mm,
They are not on my regular purchase. I should really make an effort. It's just not the habit I've built. I usually do kale, spinach, parsley. I just love those three. But that's collard greens. They're very good for you, and they are much, much cheaper than kale. So,
can you
good
eat
one.
the stems? Can you eat
You
the
can
stem?
eat the whole thing on the kale and the collard greens, but the stems are a little bit more bitter. So when you're first starting out, using the leaves is easier for you to just adapt your taste
Okay.
buds, you know? Yeah,
And I've got to say, I've just started adding these into my smoothies, and the leaves aren't bitter at all. They're totally fine. They're
exactly.
cool. Okay, I've got, okay, let's see. Here we go.
Oh,
What are
that is,
these?
those are beet leaves, aren't they? Beet tops. They look,
Almost, almost.
um,
They're not,
oh,
they're not beet, well, they weren't labeled with beet tops.
well, they look exactly like beet tops, but maybe they are something else. They are not. They're not arugula or rocket, as you call it
No.
down under. They are. Oh my gosh, it's escaping me. It's not watercress. It's not
No.
parsley or cilantro.
They're a bit
It is.
bitter. They're a bit
They are a
bitter.
bit bitter. Yes, yes, yes. Darn it! I don't remember, but of course I know it. Let me just
Yes. Do you want me to tell you?
tell me.
They're dandelion
They
greens.
are
Yeah,
dandelion.
dandelion greens.
Yeah, very, very good. Those can be a little bitter.
Yeah.
They are delicious. They add a little bit of spice. So I would actually add those to your savory smoothies. which I have
Ooh.
some recipes. Like if you look up salad, I've named them something with salad, something, a salad mix or a salad drink. Anyway, but that goes better with a savory smoothie with some lemon and some garlic and no banana, right? You don't put fruit in the savory smoothies. So Christina, you got me. There we go.
That's
Game
cool.
over.
Well, I would suggest, because I only just started trying these out too, and I would suggest just putting maybe one leaf in
Yes,
there in your smoothie, maybe with something that's a bit easier to
yes,
take, like spinach or whatever,
yeah.
um, and then slowly build up from there. I've got one more, and this is really easy, and I think I just gave it away.
Spinach.
Yeah,
Spinach. Spinach.
spinach.
Yeah.
This shows up a lot in your recipe book.
Yes, it is the easiest green to add. It's most common. You can pick it up anywhere. It's definitely something you do not taste. If you add a little bit of fruit, you do not taste it, which is really important, I think, because when we first start drinking those green smoothies, we are all so intimidated because we didn't grow up drinking them. So spinach is and it's full of vitamins and nutrition. So I think it's just the easiest one to get started with, but definitely you want to vary it up. So I'm very impressed with your selection of greens over there.
So what's a really simple, easy combination that you would recommend to someone who's just starting out making smoothies and
Mhm.
incorporating greens?
Incorporating greens. Okay, so we'll take the spinach. You put like a couple of handfuls of spinach in there. If you have some almond milk, coconut milk, I don't like soy milk. I don't do soy, but you could, or rice milk. And again, I don't do any dairy, but you would put a cup of that in there. Frozen banana would be great. You need banana for consistency and the thickness of it. And then you could either add berries or some pineapple, a squirt of lemon, maybe a half a cucumber, and you're done. You have a nice, hydrating, delicious smoothie that can probably keep you nice and happy for a couple of hours before you need a meal. So that's a good combination.
Wow.
But you can do
Okay.
so many things, so many things.
Yeah, it's just all about experimenting, finding what you like, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Awesome. Oh, okay. Well, that's so cool. Thank you so much for sharing all that with us, Farnoosh.
Yeah,
I hope that we've managed to convince at least a few people that they'll give a
yeah,
healthy smoothie a try. Now,
absolutely.
again, where can people pick up a copy of your book?
Right. So the book is available, like you said, they have them in major bookstores. They also carry them in some Costco's and Sam's in the US. But the easiest and probably the most economical place to get it is usually on Amazon.com. So just go on there, look up the Healthy Smoothie Bible, and you can either get a digital copy or a hardcover with lots of photos and a copy just for your kitchen. So Amazon.com is probably the easiest place, or you can just go to prolificjuicing.com, and I have listed all the places where you need to go and find the book.
Okay,
So yeah, thank you so
fantastic.
much, Christina. I'm so happy that you are so excited about smoothies.
Well, you do write in the book that you hope to make people fall in love with smoothies. And I
Yeah,
must say, after reading your book, I have fallen back in love with green
awesome.
smoothies. So
Oh,
thank you for that. Anyway,
oh,
all the best with the book, and I can't wait to
thank
see
you.
what is going to come next from you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Christina, for having me on your show.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Farnoosh. Bye. Cheers.
Bye.